Out of the war in Ukraine, Ukrainian forces have started firing U.S. long-range missiles into Russia, bracing...
It's like a significant escalation.
President Vladimir Putin says any such move would significantly change the nature of the conflict, putting NATO members at war with Moscow.
I thought this was going to be a good week. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm just a guy that had a mental breakdown about the state of the world and put it up on YouTube, and then no one watched it. So now, I'm on a journey to make sure that never happens again. This is S.O.L. What happened though? I feel like we just lost all of our traction of coming together and just lost focus again. So that's what we're doing today. We're having a team building meeting. We are coming together to say, okay, these are our top priorities. This is where we need to go. Now, before I go into the priorities, I do want to address this. I am not here to invalidate anyone's feelings. I am not here to invalidate anyone's want to be able to go to the bathroom wherever they want to go. Sarah McBride, I hear you. I want to let it rip wherever I feel comfortable doing so. Nancy May, I hear you. You come from a more traditional background and that you only believe certain people should go to the bathroom a certain place. I get it. I get it. And it is a discussion that needs to be had and a compromise that needs to be able to be made so that everyone can feel good about it. However, I feel like there might be some more pressing issues. So let's reset these priorities. What do you say, people? Number 1, don't get nuked. Feels kind of ridiculous that I feel the need to say this in a video, but I do. So here we are. Number 2, don't let others get nuked. Peacefully. Again, seems a little ridiculous that I have to say that. Number 3, find out who's poking the nuclear bear without telling anyone about it. Because we know it's not that guy. And if it is, I think that's even scarier. I don't know anymore. I would rather just know who made that call. Please tell us. Please. And then way down on the list of priorities, way down here, is where people are going to defecate in January at their job. You know what? This one is so simple to figure out that I'm going to offer a couple of solutions for everybody. Okay? Number 1, unisex bathrooms. They're not a new invention. Let's just use those. Crisis averted. Number 2, go find a floor that's been vacated from people that are working from home and let it rip in there in peace like every other God-fearing American that decided to be a little exotic the night before and go check out that cute Indian place for dinner. The privilege. Okay, so now let's talk about the shit that we really need to be talking about. What the hell happened this week? Okay? Daddy Biden decided to pull the biggest senior day prank that we've ever seen and said, yeah, Ukraine, you can go ahead and use our long-range missiles, even though Putin strictly said, hey, if you do that, we're going to see that as a declaration of war from NATO.
Discuss pleas from Kyiv for an easing of the rules on firing Western weapons into Russia. President Vladimir Putin says any such move would significantly change the nature of the conflict, putting NATO members at war with Moscow. He was speaking after the U.S. Secretary of State.
Maybe don't do that. Maybe get them to come together and have a conversation, but forget that. That makes too much sense. Because then that set the precedence for all the other members of NATO to come in and say, okay, yeah, you guys can use our stuff too. So then we have Britain coming in with their, the super shadows, something, I don't know, I'll fact check and I'll put it up here. Guess what happens when you do something like that? Cross a set out red line for war? They're going to retaliate. And people who had no say in the decision of doing so are going to be the ones that get hurt. Wow. It's almost like we've seen this time and time again. So, Russia came out with a missile that no one's ever seen before, and it's a completely new development, flying at speeds we've never seen a missile actually fly at.
В ответ на применение американского и британского дальнобойного оружия 21 ноября текущего года российские вооруженные силы нанесли комбинированный удар по одному из объектов оборонно-промышленного комплекса Украины. В боевых условиях было проведено в том числе и испытание одной из новейших российских ракетных систем средней дальности. В данном случае с баллистической ракетой в безъядерном гиперзвуковом оснащении. Наши ракетчики назвали ее «Орешник». Испытания прошли успешно.
That's great. And hit the town of Dnipro, targeting an ammunition facility as more of a, hey, look what we got, we can put a nuke on this thing, and you aren't going to be able to catch it. Why are we even involved in this? Okay, I had to take a moment there because that reality just set in on me again, even though I've been staying up every night thinking about it. So, there's that. That's about all I have to cover on it for right now, I guess. We'll see where it goes, and hopefully we still exist. One side note, though, to the media, can you stop trying to gaslight Russia into using a nuke?
Well, he's threatened it before, Gail. He said he was going to do this in September. They waited until the Biden administration had announced this decision to actually document it. So I think the White House was correct in recently saying this isn't really new threatening news. He's already threatened this before. And it's of a piece with what the Russians have been doing since the war began. Threaten nuclear war and bomb civilians in Kyiv, as your team now hovering in a bunker so ably demonstrates.
Boy, you know this subject, John. You know the players very well.
Seriously, just saying he's going to bluff to a clearly emotional-based decision-making man whose sole goal is to grow the footprint of Russia, because that's what every other president of Russia has ever done. He's not going to take kind to trolls saying, oh, you won't do it, you won't do it. You're not the World Series of Poker. You're not at the final table. You trying to call this bluff is playing with chips of human lives that you have no say over. Be better. Damn it, we are fucked.